Stop wasting the resources of the nation by cloning the fraudsters, criminals as election winners. Can you imagine the situation where having enough money to bribe people will determine your victory at the poll? Can you imagine a situation where having enough talks to rig election will determine the victory of someone at the poll? These were the words of Mr. Peter Obi. He said, "Stop crowning people who are criminals as election winners," in his final address.
Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP in the 2023 general elections, has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC of cloning electoral fraudsters as leaders and wasting the time and resources of the country. In the final address filed before the Presidential Election Petition Court, dated July 23, 2023, Obi and the Labour Party warned that if the court failed to whip INEC into line to do its electoral duties reasonably, impartially and independently, elections in Nigeria would remain a fraud. Obi and LP accused INEC of abandoning its primary statutory responsibility as an electoral umpire. They descended into the arena, putting on the toga of a candidate in the election it conducted. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party said INEC tragically and embarrassingly spent 5.5 pages of its address defending the ground on the no qualification of the second respondent, Bola Tinubu. Obi and LP said, in the case of PDP versus Alechenu 2019, LPELR 49199 CA, this honorable court admonished the first respondent, INEC, who appears to have misunderstood its public duty. Thus, often one finds cases where INEC plays games with election materials and would not allow the petitioners access to documents used in the conduct of the election, even with court orders to produce same, as in this case, thus playing the cards of the declared winner openly to frustrate the petition. Obi further submitted that pursuant to the mandatory provisions of the Electoral Act 2022, the INEC regulations and guidelines and the INEC manual, INEC introduced the use of modern technology for the conduct of the 2023 general elections. He said by this, INEC represented and assured that it would use the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for the accreditation of voters in the polling units and the upload of transmission of the result of the election in real time on the day of the election to the INEC results viewing portal, IREV. However, contrary to the requirements of the law and in manifest disregard of its own representations, the first respondent, INEC, abandoned and discarded the much expected upload and transmission of the result of the election in real time on the day of the election from the polling units to the IREV. Rather and very strangely, blurred, unreadable and inaccessible documents, images were uploaded by the first respondent to the IREV, purporting same to be the result of the election in various polling units. These blurred images and the inaccessible documents were purported to be the result of the election in the polling units. The net result of the upload of blurred images on the IREV was that the outcome of the election could neither be authenticated nor verified, and thus lacked credibility and transparency. INEC's contention that the collation of the election result remained a manual process is patently false and seems to have disregarded the express provisions of the Electoral Act, regulations and manual for the election. The collation of election results at all the stages of the election process provides explicitly for electronic transmission to the IREV, which is part of the collation system under the Electoral Act. The authority of the Federal High Court's determination in suite number FHC/ABJ/CS/1454/2022 relied upon the first respondent in its final address and heavily harped upon in its argument is per inquirium and in manifest contradiction of the binding later decision of the Supreme Court in appeal number SC CV 508-2023, Oyetola vs. INEC, delivered on May 9, 2023, in 2023 LPELR 60392 SC. Despite the first respondent's claim that the hard copies of the forms ECHA were allegedly used for the manual collation of the election, which by that reasoning ought to be in the first respondent's custody or possession, the first respondent nevertheless gave to the petitioners a certified copies of the electoral forms, including alleged forms ECHAs, blurred, blank, and extraneous documents.